All right, I'm looking at the Fibble. This is the game that's just like Wordle, but on every row, one of the clues is a lie. They're starting us with WHARF. Now, I usually like to have the yellow and green be true. I am tempted to do a WH there. Let's go wheel. I like that. I like that. Okay. Well, one of the W's is a lie, so the H's are definitely true. And we got the E thing going, the E thing, but the double letter thing. This is what we're looking for, is a contradiction. So, if you think about what's going on here, for the second one to be yellow, if these were both true, right? How would that work? Well, it's impossible, is the answer. But because the second one is yellow. If there's an E in the word somewhere, and it's not where we put the E's, then the first one would be yellow, not the second one. So these can't both be true. Therefore, one of them is a lie, and these are both true, which means that's a lie. Getting a phone call. Hold on, pause. All right, we're back. I was waiting on a call from some people about the yard, so I'm getting some work done. Anyways, so what I was saying is one of these E's has to be a lie. That's the important thing. Now, if there is an E, it obviously can't be third, because if there is an E and it's third, well, it can be, but this would be a lie, this would be true. So there would have to be two E's if there's an E third. Okay, so we've got the H second. We know that. So before that is probably a TH or an SH or a CH, maybe a PH. If we want to assume, let's assume that there's, we could do these actually. Oh, I just realized I think I got the things turned off. Oh, I was messing with it the other day. Hold on. There we go. Okay. I was looking at the settings the other day and I accidentally turned off some of the settings. Okay. Anyways, the lie counts are in there now. So these should work because this would be the lie, this would be true. That's possible. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, so, well, again, we got the same thing. So the E's, these cannot both be true for the same reasoning we just talked about. So therefore, one of those is a lie. These are all true. These are all true, but these is not true. So now, if there's an E third, these are both lies, these are both true. Where is the second E gonna go? It's not possible. Not possible. Therefore, these have to be true. Making this the lie. And if there were an E at the end, if that was a lie because it was supposed to be green and there was an E at the end, then this would be true and all of wheel would be true. Therefore, this has to be a lie. Now, could we have a double E like that? Those would both be lies. No, because if there's a double E, then yeah, then the second one would also, there's no E at all. There's no E at all. Okay, so because if you did something like 3, the gray E here would also be a lie because there's 2 E's. So so we got TH, we need we could do thing. Ooh, the H is the lie. So the rest of these are true. So it's THI. We're doing this the hard way, one letter at a time. Can't be think, it could be thick. Thick, there we go. You won, it was thick, very nice. All right, well, we got it in 4. It was a little bit of a struggle, but when you get the double, this is the reason to guess double letters in Fibble, hoping for the gray-yellow situation, because it really limits things a lot. So, very interesting. All right, there you go. Well, got it in 4, not too bad today, so let me know how your solve of this Fibble went, and of course, be sure to subscribe for more.